Hey everybody, Steve here with Printavo, and welcome to the first video in our 3-video series on how to build, customize, and fulfill Printavo merch stores. And in this video, we'll be covering how you can build a Printavo merch store from a Printavo invoice. In our next video, we'll show you how you can customize that store using our available customization options. And in that third video, again, we'll show you how you can fulfill that Printavo merch store and get your orders out the door to the people who bought them. Now, if you have any questions about anything you see in this video and you're a Printavo subscriber, please reach out to your dedicated success manager. Or if you're not sure who that is, you can email us at success, SUCCESS, at printavo.com. If you're not yet a Printavo customer and you'd like to learn more about the platform and Printavo merch, then definitely reach out to us at sales, SALES, at printavo.com, and we'll start that conversation. All right, let's jump in. So first things first here, I'm just on a new quote page here in Printavo. I've just clicked this plus quote button. And what we're going to do is just build a quote as we normally would for, we'll call it a regular job. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this quote and with the click of a button, turn it into an online store. But there's just a couple of things we'll want to do first. Now, I'm talking about, the ease of converting this, an invoice into a store. You can, and some people do prefer to build online stores within Printavo merch from scratch. That's a totally viable option. But if you want to save yourself, some time and just kind of get straight into the point without having to manually enter a bunch of information, then this is going to be the way you'll want to build that store. So again, I'm on a blank quote here, and the first thing I'm going to do is search for my customer. And in this case, the customer is going to be typically the person or group of people who are organizing the store. So all of your approvals prior to the store opening will go to this person or these people. Now, the nickname in this case, by default, will convert to the store's name, the name of the store. You can always change it later. But for our example here, we'll go, call this our Rosati's fundraiser store. Whoops, fundraiser store. Now, typically with merch stores or invoices that are going to turn to merch stores, because again, you still want to get everything approved, we'll see shops use the customer notes here, those public facing notes, just to show off some terms and conditions for this store. Now, my sizing here has kind of got messed up when I copied and pasted this from my Google Doc where I had this stored. But you can see, there's really some good groundwork that you want to establish with your customer and get them to approve it before you open the store. It's really just kind of one of those CYAs, as they call it. Really to make sure that you've done everything you can to be transparent with expectations so the customer gets the best possible product, right? So just some things we'll call out here. We have our, an order minimum. So if, you don't hit X amount of orders during the duration of the store, then everyone's going to be refunded, right? Just set that expectation up top. Perhaps everything is going to be individually bagged and shipped. Or you want to put your shipping and pickup information because you can also offer pickup as an option for the store. And timing expectations in this case is really just, saying, hey, the store will be open until X date. And then we'll start fulfilling printing the orders on Y date. Then we'll start sending them out on Z date, right? If you're fundraising, in this case, we will be fundraising, how much money will we, on a dollar or percentage basis, will we be donating to the cause, right? Will each purchase be donating to the cause? And what's cool about Printavo merch is you can either set a global fundraising amount, so an equal percentage or equal dollar amount per purchase goes to the fundraiser, or you can also, and we'll cover this in the next video, customize that on a per product basis. So, maybe X percent of a t-shirt A goes, and then, a dollar amount of, t-shirt B goes to the same cause. Definitely good to establish and agree upon that open and close date, so there's no question. Set limitations, right? Hey, orders can't be placed after the store has closed. Or, some shops will say, yeah, we'll take orders after the store has closed, but it's going to be an X dollar surcharge to accommodate the rush. And then also just, your standard, hey, every size, your plus sizes are going to cost more. Just so, again, you don't want any surprises. You never want the customer to say, hey, you didn't tell me this, right? Just get them to agree to everything up top. Right. So now let's build out our products that we're going to add to the store. And with Printavo's line item groups, every line item group is going to be an individual product in the store. So if you wanted to, for example, offer one design in 5 different colors, right? So then that's going to be one line item group. You just put all of the products in the line item group. So more simply put, if you're going to offer 3 products, you would have 3 line item groups. If you're going to offer 6 products, you would have 6 line item groups, and all the variants would live within the individual line item group. So let's get started. So we're doing this fundraiser store for Rosati's. That's a pizza chain here in Chicago, Illinois. And let's start with a t-shirt. Let's take our Gildan 2000 in white. And I'll just go ahead and select that as we normally would. And we're going to offer this t-shirt up to, let's say, 2X. Okay, we'll just click that 2X there, just like we would to add that. And then just like with a normal, finger quotes, normal Printavo store, you're still going to typically want to have, one line item per pricing option, right? So in this case, we have, extra small through extra large is going to be one price and 2XL is going to be another price. So we just want to duplicate this one time so we can accommodate the first pricing group and the second pricing group easily, right? Now you can, and just if you don't want to duplicate now and you want to edit and modify the price later, you can absolutely do that. But again, just to save yourself some time, go ahead and add our quantities to the sizes that we're offering, and then we'll price them off. Now, what you see here is I just put the number 1, right? I didn't put 50 or 100, right? It's not like an inventory thing. What we're saying when we put the number 1 in a size next to a product, it just means that in the binary sense of true, false, it is true that we are going to offer an extra small, a medium, a large, right? Because we said activate that, right? And you'll see you can assign a price per line item per size, so you don't have to go back in and change that later. Now, in this case, we're only offering the white Gildan 2000, but just to reiterate, if we were also offering maybe a red and a gray and a green, we would put all of those in this group if it's the same design, right? If it's just, again, this t-shirt in multiple colors, that would be one line item group, because again, one line item group is one product. To add the images ahead of time, I'll simply go ahead, click my little down arrow here, attach the mock-up, right, as you normally would, and I'm just dragging and dropping from, I have a second desktop over here, and I'm going to upload that. Now you can upload as many images as you want, just again, as quote unquote normal. And those will, again, as long as they live within the line item group, they'll live with the product. I will clarify that Printavo does not specify, if I attach a white image to this one and a red image to a different one, it does not delineate that. But all of those images will be included within the product. So there's product 1 complete. So now let's say I want to add a hoodie. I'm going to add a new line item group. I'm just going to type hoodie white. Let's see what comes up. Here, we'll do the hoodie buddies. Those are the cool ones with the earbuds built in. But here, I'm just going to grab this one, and we'll take this one up to, let's say, a 3X. So that's going to be 3 pricing groups, one for the extra small through XL, one for 2X, one for 3X. So I'll duplicate this 2 times. I'm going to put the number 1 in to say these sizes will be offered. It is true that we are offering a 2X and a 3X and an extra small, etc. Right? And we'll call this sweatshirt, maybe that's $30. This one's 32. This one's 34. And then we'll go ahead and attach the mockup. I just sort of habitually use the bottom line item where I add my mockup. It doesn't matter which line item you use. That's just where I put it. And then there's the hoodie. And then I'll go ahead. I guess it's not really white, but that's all right. And then let's do our tote bag. And that should come up. Tote bag, we'll call this white as well. Cool, economical tote bag. Now, sort of to the point of the sizing, right? Tote bags don't really come in typically, like, extra small, small, medium, all these different sizes. So what I can do here, I'll go ahead, eliminate the sizes, just leave it as a quantity. Right? We're going to say 1. This will be $15 maybe. And then I'll go ahead, attach my mock-up and drag that over and hit upload. And now we're done, right? So we have our customer information, we have our terms, we have our 3 products. And just again, to reiterate, not to sound like a broken record, but just to reiterate the point, hammer it home, every line item group will be one product. So no matter what we put in these groups, this is product A, this is product B, this is product C, with the variants separated in between. So now I'm going to go ahead and save this job. And we have what looks like, again, a quote unquote normal Printavo invoice, albeit, with, smaller looking quantities. Now, typically what you'll want to do here is, again, get this approved, right? Get this approved by the customer. So you can, right, use Printavo's statuses and automations and approval processes to say, hey, you know what? I need a merch store approval for this. So maybe this emails and messages the customer, and then the customer can click on their merch store approval, right? And then we can say, Steve L approves all this stuff. The art looks good. Everything looks good. You might have more steps broken down into maybe a pricing or a graphic or whatever. And then, but again, you can use the automations of Printavo to, when things are approved, say, hey, merch store is approved, let's build the store. That can email somebody internally that the store has been built. Or that needs to be built, excuse me. So when this comes to me saying, maybe me, Steve, it's my responsibility to build the online stores, I can say, okay, cool, we're ready to go. So I'm going to go to more actions right here, and I'm simply going to click this button that says create merch store. Now, again, Rosati's fundraiser store is going to be the default name because that was the name of the nickname of our job, of our invoice here, but maybe we can call it, fundraising for Rosati's. Okay, just change it up. Right. The store URL, this is what's called a URL slug. So this, the beginning of this URL down here, this sort of subdomain is dependent on what you've set up under my account. But what I put in the slug here, fundraising for Rosati's, right, is going to be the unique URL for this store. Now, you can change this later when you customize it. If you do that, make sure you send the updated URL to the store organizer so they can distribute it to the people. Because otherwise, if it's fundraising for Rosati's now and then fundraising for Rosati's later, and people go to the one with the number 4, go to the link with the number 4, it'll be a dead link. So we'll go ahead and use this, and then I'm going to click the create button. So depending on the amount of information that's on the invoice, it's going to be converted into a store. You'll see it just takes a minute for Printavo to think and process. You'll see this is in progress. While this is thinking, I'll just show you, here's a list of all of our active stores. You can sort by creation date, by the store owner, by the name of the store, your total sales, and then sort by the order count within that. You can sort by store close date and then the status of the store, whether it's closed or live, right? Also, you have a neat little dashboard up here of how many active stores you have, how much you've raised in the last 30 days. This is our demo account. So, we typically use 100% coupons. So that's going to say nothing, but it's also going to give you an idea of how many orders you have to fulfill, in that umbrella of all your stores. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, and before I do that, actually, so you'll see here, this new store button, that's where you can build that new store from scratch if that's your preference. And then your very basic merch store settings here, which, you can set up where, the status of your compiled invoices, what that automatically goes to. We'll cover that more in a little bit. And sorting the order of your product variants, which is your sizes and colors. Right. So going back here, I'm going to go ahead and refresh this now. That should be done. And great. And here's our store, right? Fundraising for Rosati's. You'll also receive an email in your inbox saying, hey, your store has been created. So you don't have to like babysit the page like I was doing in that particular circumstance. Now, if I want to go view the store, I simply go to more actions and click view store. But you'll see when I do that, the store is closed. Reason for that, we didn't open it, right? So if I click on this little toggle here, right, we'll let that turn on. And you'll see the merch store is now live. So if I go back to my store here, I'll simply edit, or excuse me, refresh. And with that, we have our most basic version of a merch store. Now, that's going to cover it for this video. That's how you build a very basic merch store using a Printavo invoice. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we can customize this and build this out. This is completely functional in this current state, but I'll show you in our next video how you can build this out. So again, if you have any questions about Printavo merch or Printavo in general, and you're a subscriber, please reach out to your dedicated success manager or email us at success@printavo.com. If you're not yet a Printavo subscriber, email us at sales, SALES, @printavo.com, and we'd be happy to speak with you. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.